Hey guys, welcome back to the Painful Human podcast. Today it's just me. At kung ayaw nyo, diwag. Pero we're gonna have fun today. We actually got questions from a bunch of you guys on the broadcast channel, on Instagram, and we're gonna go through them. And we're gonna have a chill time. So wherever you're at the moment, if you're at home, you're doing the dishes, you're in the car, you're driving around, you're watching, or you're just listening, welcome. This is a time where we talk about anything and everything under the sun. And we don't want to chase the wind, so we wrote questions today. Yay! I had someone come up to me recently and said, "Hey, I've watched your episodes." I said, "Oh, thank you, appreciate it." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm really happy that you take notes now, and you write down notes." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Imperfect nga, painfully human nga eh, sorry." But funnily enough, I just want to share a personal update. I got to preach at something recently, and it was great. And one of my best buddies was there, and he came to me the day after, and he's like, "Hey man, good job." I was like, "Oh, thanks, bro." That's not how I talked to him. I just said, "Oh, thanks." And he said, "Bro, you're funny." I was like, "Oh." He's like, "Yeah, you're funnier when you're preaching than you are in real life." And I was like, what is that supposed to mean? So shout out Pastor Nov of Favor Youth for telling me all of that. But he's my good friend. But anyway, we have questions. I've read through a couple of them, and then the team has just written them down on. And so I'm hoping that we just pick out good questions. And so we'll go for 45 minutes, and that's good. Question number 1. These came from you guys on the broadcast channel, aka the fam. How do you deal with losing people, opportunities, or versions of yourself? Wow, so deep. I don't know about the versions of yourself. I've always been okay with I'm not the best version, so if I grow and the old version dies, I'm okay with that. No one's crying over the first edition of the iPhone. Everyone's happy that it's a newer one now. So I'm okay with that. But how do you deal with losing people and opportunities? Maybe let's go with the opportunities first. I don't know if this will be released by the time it will be released by the time that I'm shooting. Sorry, this comes out. But I did actually guest on Tony Talks. So abangan kung hindi pa lumabas. Watch it if you haven't watched it. But I love Ate Tony. She's great, and she was very kind and very, very awesome at that interview. But she actually helped me realize something, that I said no to some other opportunities to say yes to something, in church, in ministry, in doing this with everyone, in what I've said yes to in life. And what I realized is this: what hindi siya realization like bago lang, but it's something that for me helped solidify conviction in me. It was at the end of the day, I said no to everything in show business, but I actually gained something way better. The time when you're thinking about losing opportunities, anytime that you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else. So me saying no to showbiz means saying yes to something better. So I don't feel like, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I don't get earnings sometimes, I'm like, it's okay. God has something for me. God's gonna provide, and He's taking care of me this far, and He will continue to do so. I fully believe, because that's His promise, not mine. So it's good. Is there a mosquito? Oh, it's a mosquito. Do I slap it here? I got it! I got it! I have killed a fly today and a mosquito. We're gonna leave it there. There's so much to edit out. We're gonna edit some stuff out. But losing people. I am a little brutal on this, I think, when it comes to losing people. And I don't think I've lost anyone, but I also do know that I'm going after God, and I'm going after His presence. And I don't think I've ever lost anyone, but I've had people kind of be like, where you're going, I don't want to go there. And like, I care about people, but I also know that you want to go somewhere else. I want to go here. And it's like, okay, if you don't want to go here, that's also okay. And they've been okay with it. I've been okay with it. But then, granted, I'm actually someone who doesn't have the biggest group of friends. And that sounds very sad, but what I mean by that is I actually just have a very small, tight group of people. I have a lot of people that I love. Like, there are people in this room I love, I will cherish. But I also don't message everyone here every single day. Even my best friends, I don't message every single day. And so a lot of my friendships are just quite tight anyway. If you have friendships that you message every single day, that's fine. But for me, I feel like a lot of the people that are close to me are people that want the same things as me. And so I'm walking with them through life. Like, I love that two of my closest friends ever are on staff too in our church. And it's great because every single day I see them in the office and it's like, you good? Yep. You good? Yep. Like me and Nav, Pastor Nav, we ride to work together. We drive together, and these are conversations that I know I will never get again. So I'm always making the most of those conversations. But I don't think you have to worry too much about losing people that are not going in the same direction as you. My question would be, what direction are you going? And so I'm blessed to have a great group of people that want very similar things in me in life. And so we're chasing after God together, which is great. And talking about opportunities, you can lose opportunities and it's fine. God has something better for you. I really believe that. How to be certain about the phrase, this is it, in any time of life? I would just say, don't say it. If you're like, this is it, and it doesn't happen, then you're like, that sucks. That kind of is hard. But if you want to have the this is it moments, I honestly think it's just, if you want to know that this is really it, just look at the promises of God and let it unfold. I've had a lot of moments, like, I think the moment where I always wanted to be since coming to Jesus, I always wanted to be a pastor. But what I didn't always say pastor. I wasn't attached necessarily to the role. I just wanted to serve God, and I wanted to run after Jesus, and I wanted to serve his kingdom no matter what it looks like. If tomorrow, Pastor James or whoever, this is very intimate talk. This is probably something we haven't done much as a church even. In this way, if someone just said tomorrow, hey, we need you here, I'll be like, yeah, I feel I'm cool with that, because whatever the need is, and I know, and to those maybe in our church that are listening, I am not the number one. There's a senior pastor for a reason, but I'm one of the people there, and I think all of our volunteers would say the same thing in church, like, yeah, wherever you need me, I'll go, and those are the best people to be with. So what I mean by, like, this is it, there's never something super solid. And for me, the reason I brought up being a pastor, I'm always wanting to do it, is because I was okay with what it looked like. I just kind of knew, I had a feeling I'd eventually do something. But when I got on staff, it was, number one, it wasn't something I was chasing after. And number two, it was a confirmation that, okay, there is something that I'm doing with my life, and what I felt was right. Does that make sense? So I want to connect it to this is it. Like, I think if you look at the promises of God, that's something you can hold on to, and when you see it come to pass, you're like, okay, that promise came to pass. God stays true to his word, and I think that's something that you can always hold on. I think anytime you base a this is it moment on yourself, it's quite a hard thing, because what if, like, at the end of the day, you're never fully sure, if that makes sense. So if you're in the wait for something, maybe wait till it's done before you're fully sure about it. Blessed ako sa buhay mo. Keep spreading God's love and light sa buhay mo. God bless. I love you. May tanong ba to? Wala naman tanong. Thanks for the encouragement, I guess. That's good. That's nice. Again, we got all these questions from you guys, so I'm appreciative for all of them. How did you take care of your mental and emotional health? Great. All right, continuing after the buzzsaw at the construction site. Shout out to Backyard Warehouse, because they're building a pickleball court. I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but it's going to be amazing. And if we can't, we will edit this out. but yeah, how do you take care of your mental health and emotional health? A good friend of mine recently has given me a new Bible, and it's suede. It's really nice, and it has a matching notebook. And I never thought I'd be one of those guys, but I actually have a a mini not suitcase, pencil case, with a bunch of, when you have highlighters from the same brand, and it's super nice because you're not discriminating against your pens. Which one do I want to use for today? It's just the night. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I never thought I'd be the guy, but I'm just enjoying highlighting my Bible, and I think I've gotten to the point, and where discipline has become pleasure. And actually, someone close to me pointed that out, and he said, "Yeah, your discipline is becoming pleasure now," and it's just, I think it's just got to the point where, and before, it takes a while to sink in. I'll admit, but there are times where I was like, I'll read the Bible because I'm supposed to. I just got a message from a good friend of mine, which I'm listening to as well. But main point being, I think the Bible has helped me a lot, and I don't know if this is going to help someone. I hope it does. But the reality is, it just, you read the Bible, but the Bible is the living word, so it reads you back, and it points out stuff. And there are things that just, I don't know, in the day that I read it, it sticks out to me, so I'll highlight it. And I just want to share, where's my notebook at? Do you guys see my notebook? I think, oh, there you go. Sorry, I've discovered a new way of journaling, which this is just, I'm not trying to teach this to everyone, but this is just made we can do one live right now, right? So I journal now through mind maps, because I have a super sporadic mind. I never thought I'd be talking about this, but this has helped me in my ideation. It's helped me in my all my stuff. So someone give me a random verse. Let's try this now, or even just, okay, maybe let's try it for a verse. Let's try it for an emotion. So let's do this to shall pass, right? So I'm writing it and I circle it, right? And then what are the first things that comes to my mind from this? This too shall pass. Not everything is permanent, right? I don't know if I'm spelling permanent wrong, but then from that, I'll write a little arrow, and I'll be like, okay, what's not permanent? Emotions aren't permanent. My financial stability. I'll write that, stability. What's it? Bad experiences. Bad XP. Hard times. Good times. But from that, you kind of just get out into your thoughts all. And that's how I do my journaling too. So I'll sit on a verse and I'll kind of just write out stuff. But if it's the process with emotions, the same thing. How am I feeling? I'm feeling bad. Why am I feeling bad? Write an arrow. I got annoyed by, getting cut off today. Or what am I feeling bad about? Oh, I'm worried about something later. And I don't know about you guys. That's just helped me a lot. Because I'm a guy that, you guys know this. If you've been a loyal listener of the podcast, you'll know that my thoughts would just go everywhere. To a degree now, my thoughts are going everywhere. This was not even what the question was asking. I forgot what the question. Oh, emotional health, right? So this has helped with my mental health, because as someone who does not like doing, sometimes, structure is needed. We need systems, we need processes. Systems and processes, structure multiplies passion. I'm a very passionate guy. We need structure. That's why Serene is there editing. Charlie is there helping do stuff. Tristan is there to shoot stuff. Ange is there planning everything. Like, that's why everyone's there. But for me, when I like just dreaming and all this stuff, getting it on paper in a way that's just easy to get out helps me with processing my emotions. So I've been doing that a lot recently. I've been doing a lot of like declarative prayers. That's something I've been doing. So I've been praying into my hunger. I don't mean gutom, like hunger from my stomach. I am good on that. I am great with that. Too great, actually. But for me, I've been praying for my hunger for the things that I'm pursuing in God. And so I've been praying for, there's a verse that says, my soul thirsts for you like a deer thirsts for water. So I've been praying that over myself, and I've actually felt myself hungering to read the Bible more. So, obviously, initially when this podcast started, I probably would have been a lot pulled back on me talking about my faith and my journey. But I think at this point, newsflash, I'm in church all the time. I work for the church, and I'm a pastor in a church. So if you don't get that I'll talk about my faith at this point, maybe not the right podcast for you. So just being honest. So that's been big for me, helping my mental health and everything at the moment. So, hey Edward, I just want to ask, how are you? Okay lang. Sorry. I'm good. I'm very thankful and grateful for the season. Like I was walking, like I have multiple guys that I talk to and I check in with, and I process stuff. And one of them said to me just today, actually, like an hour ago, he said, "You're in a season." My phone's not here, but he said, "You're in a season where you're discovering a lot of things about yourself." Like I didn't know that I like writing material. Like Serene used to shoot a lot of content with me, and she would help conceptualize stuff. Fiona, if you guys remember, Fiona would help write a lot of the stuff because I wasn't the best at it. Now I've kind of figured out ways for me to write my thoughts out, and I've practiced it more. And so I didn't realize I like doing that. I didn't realize that I'm a passionate person. I think a lot of times my passion has been the tip of the spear in a lot of the stuff I've done. And I realized passion can actually be infectious. And so, like, no one cares about what you know until they know how much you care. And I feel like you can share a vision of something that you're passionate about. And I believe, especially in my case, like a lot of that is birthed in, okay, God, what are you passionate about? Like, what do you care about? There's a just a very common phrase people say, like, break my heart for what breaks yours, God. And I think that having prayed that prayer in the past just helped me. Okay, what am I passionate about? Leading that. And so shout out to our kids team. Once again, shouted them out before. I just love our kids team. We have such a great team. And I am so proud of, again, every team is amazing, especially in our church. And I'm sure in the other churches out there, they're amazing. But in our kids team, I just love that we have a hunger. Passion, man, I tell you, you bring passion into any workplace, they will love you. You bring encouragement into any workplace, toxic or not. They'll love it. We were actually last night as of shooting this, we were in a certain fast food restaurant, and I'm not judging them, but I think my leader brain, or like organization brain, will walk into a place and I'll be like, okay, how are they doing? How's your team working? And it's something I can shut off. But that moment, we just came from church and we were eating with the team, and I walked in, and this was on Mother's Day, so there's a lot of people eating in the restaurant, and I could see, I mean, God bless them, they're working hard, but you can kind of see when an organization or a system is fueled by manpower and when it's fueled off of a good system. So we looked in, and I remember being with some of the people there, and they're stressed, they're annoyed at each other, they're kind of getting upset at each other. I remember someone asked for ice, and they're like, "Hey, ice!" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, "Hey, yellow!" And I'm like, they're just asking for ice, and that's not the customer, that's their coworker. And you can kind of see into the kitchen, and you're like, people running around, and I get it. Part of it's the mission, part of it's like the job that they do. But I'm like, this just feels like people aren't trained to do this, and people don't like what they're doing. And so I think one of the best compliments that you can get. Oh, what's the question? How are you doing recently? I'm just really proud of the team. Diba? Ito yung thought ko, diba? Notes. Now you get it. But I'm just proud of the team because for those of you who don't know how kids church works, and if you don't care about this, it's fine. Let me just still tell you. We have 5 different rooms in our kids church. And there are 5 different age groups. And there are the preschoolers, there are the babies, there are some of our older preteens, and they're great. Shout out legends, champions, royals, big heroes, and junior heroes. We love all of you. And yeah, bam. Anyway, and so their teachers are volunteers that serve in only one room. You don't go to the other rooms, you just stay in that room. And so it's great because we get to build a relationship with those kids, walk with them, we get to see them grow. It's beautiful. I promise you, I kind of feel like and there are people in this room and the team, they also serve there. What I love about it is we almost get to see we get to see how kids grow, and we get a glimpse of what parenthood looks like, even though we're not parents, because we get to see this kid who walked in super shy into now getting friends inside the room, feeling part of a community. I'd encourage you, if you're a parent watching right now, we're not perfect, but I believe we're a really healthy church, and we'd love to invite you to come. Details, pop, yeah, right there. Good job, Serene. Serene's gonna be like, she's writing it down. I have to edit this in now. But how am I? I'm really proud. I'm really proud. We had a team night recently, and I believe people are passionate. And we just had moments where I'm like, oh man, we just have a hungry and passionate team. We have a team that believes in what we're doing, and it is not on the back of me as a leader there. It's just like they're hungering for God. They know that God is a good God, and they want to see the mission events, and the kids experience God. And let me tell you, when a kid comes up to you and just gives you a hug after everything that you taught, like, you can preach your guts out and then ask them, what did you learn? They're like, and then 2 weeks later, their parent will come to you and be like, hey, my son just taught me the gospel. That's a 4-year-old kid, by the way. We had a story recently of a kid who wants to get baptized, and he's 4 years old, and the mom was like, maybe just wait until you understand, and he's like, but I do understand. And I'm like, and it's like, wait until God's in your life more. And it's like, but I did let him in my life. And so it's a beautiful thing to get to be part of kids ministry, and I'm very proud. So I'm really happy. I'm really okay. And I love what we're doing. So shout out to our kids team. Shout out to our church. I am blessed that this is what I get to do. If you know me well from my life outside of church, you will probably see that I'm passionate about this. If you know me from my life inside church, which at this point, just to be clear, is the same thing. I'm talking about my past and my present. If you're from my past, you'll probably never have heard me speak about something like this with so much excitement. If you're from my present, then this is just me. As a pastor, what's your advice for the youth? This is a great question. I could say a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just go through life with Jesus. And if you're asking how, find a church. I obviously think our church is a good church, and I believe in what we're doing. So again, details. If you're a youth and you're a teenager, so grade 7 to 12, we have a place for you. Favor Youth happening here. If you're a young adult from 18 to 25 ish, then details for you. We have monthly events and weekly events happening too. And so all the details are going to be popping, and they're going to stay as I talk, just because we want to invite you to all this. Like, you'll see some of the team, you've seen them on the podcast. They're there. We're open about what we believe, and we'll see each other there as well. On Sundays, if you want to see us, again, details on the screen, and we just want to hang out with you and talk to you. But my advice is don't go through life alone. That's probably one. I didn't fall in love with Jesus because okay, let me just say something. This is probably crazy. I didn't fall in love with Jesus straight away because of what he did on the cross for me. I didn't at that point of my life, I actually didn't care. Like, that sounds crazy now. Don't clip this out of context, but I didn't care. At that point in my life, it didn't mean something to me. But when I experienced God's love through his people, through how he cared for me, through how he came through, like, he met me in the brokenness of where I was at. And he's not saying, like, you have to believe this. This is what you got to do straight away. It's just, he loved on me first. Like, there's a big revelation for me. This is something that kind of blew my mind when I read it. We celebrated Mother's Day technically just yesterday, and we were talking about how a mother's love is different, right? So there's a verse in the Bible that says that we love because we were first loved. And obviously in that context, it's talking about God's love. Jesus loved us first. So now, because, we were loved, poured into, we can now take that love and give it to other people. We forgive because we were first forgiven, etc. You guys probably know that already. My revelation was, dang, Mother's Day. I'm alive right now because my mother chose to give birth to me. Now, there are people out there that choose not to. But at the very end of the day, I am grateful that I'm alive today because my mother decided, through the pain of childbirth, she would have her son.